G'day, freedom lovers. How are we today? Just thought I'd do a really quick update for those who have been watching the lamestream media and probably a bit concerned. Look, shit is hitting the fan here. It's not the first time it's happened. I've lived through it before. But I just thought, there's probably a lot of people out there going, doesn't Paddy come from North Queensland? Fuck, maybe I hope he's all right. So I just thought I'd let everybody know that, yeah, okay, I'm all right. I didn't do a podcast yesterday because I've actually been suffering from gout, which is the reason I have water. It's very unstimulating, I know, but, shit, I don't want to make this any worse because, the last couple of days have been absolute agony. So I've been lying around mostly with my foot up, ice and a shitload of water and painkillers. It has been an interesting observation, though, because, fortunately, my doctor took the appointment via phone, so I didn't have to try and hobble in. And, even SMS'd me all my gout medication. But it's been an astute observation of mine, especially, with the past 3 months of back pain and all that it seems that all the medicines that are created these days either are designed to make you go to the toilet continuously, as has happened the last couple of days, or make sure you can't go to the toilet, has happened over the last 3 months. So it's almost like, I don't know, I'm assuming a lot of this sort of comes through the FDA, for example, and I guess Anthony Fauci's had a lot to do with that over the last 4 years, hasn't he? So is it because he's an asshole that he's trying to affect other people's assholes so much? I don't know. But anyway, let's have a look at some comments. How are we going, Sue? Susan, how are you? Yeah, we're well for now. Hey, Valerie, how are we? I wasn't sure if people were going to get this because it was just like a 15-minute last minute. I probably should let everybody know that I'm okay for now. Hopefully it stays that way. Hey, Jay, how are you? Yeah, I intend to stay safe. Unlike some people, I'm not getting out there mostly because I can't. The temptation to get out there and take some shots, and get some footage and whatnot. Well, I don't really need to. It's all over the internet. Every man and his dog's out there taking photos and getting film and whatnot. So I don't really need to do it. I would normally, go and get a couple of shots at least locally, but I can't at the moment. Walking is, just a real hard thing to do. I can't even put a shoe on. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. G'day, Adrian. How are you holding up your way, mate? Yeah, it's definitely a bit wet here, man. Definitely a bit wet here. G'day, Trish. Yeah, thanks. I intend to. I'm doing my best to get better. Just life keeps throwing curveballs, and my daughter's been crook as well, which means sleep's not happening while she's crook. So yeah, these are the crux of the matter. Look, I just thought I'd give you guys a bit of an idea of what we're looking at. I highly recommend this website. This is Windy. I think it's the best way to get a bit of a look in on what's going on. And one of the things that I don't see it sort of do on the map, on the news, is sort of show you where this is coming, like from the other side of the fucking globe. Like, so you see all this weird, this is the direction of the wind, that's why I like Windy. It sort of shows you what's going on, and you can see it sort of rolling up, good old Africa here. And you can see it's traveling all the way fucking across till it starts twirling up in the islands here. And, even, we've got some weird shit happening here. Little cyclones all over the fucking place. Probably didn't realize how often cyclones actually are happening out in the oceans. It's only when they come to land and start doing things that the reporters seem to give a shit, as you can see, we've got a bit of a cyclonic activity going here and here. And all the way over here at Broome, who are also getting some, lovely weather. Not quite to the extent that we are, because as you zoom in, you can see it's, pretty darn wet. Ingham, feel for those poor buggers. They're getting flooded again. They flood quite regularly. It's another reason they like to grow the sugar cane up there. I guess there's all the water. It is trekking all the way up the coast. Not so bad up here, although I know I've got a friend out this region here who put up a video of the road down the road from his place, and he's not going anywhere, much like last year's episode. So this weather pattern, as you see, is shaping up very much like the 2019 flood scenario. And as we advance into time, at random, you can see it's just not letting up. It just, it's going to continue. So I mean, the next couple of days is where we're really going to get hit, but it looks like it's going to ease up a bit up until Monday into Tuesday. It's still going to be hitting us. So, hopefully it should rain itself out. Of course, look, predicting the weather that far into the future is pretty amazing. And if they get it right, I'll be fucking thoroughly impressed. I like this. If you want to further forecasts, you actually have to pay past this point. But Struth, seriously, I doubt you're going to know what's happening in the next couple of days, let alone, by Friday next week. So I'm not feeling that inclined to want to pay for this service. Although I do think they do have a great service. I do appreciate it, and maybe one day when I got a few extra bucks, I might actually pay for it just for the shits and the giggles of it, and and to support the fact that I think it's probably one of the best weather apps you can really get a hold of. But yeah, as you can see, like even going back earlier in time. Oh, doesn't want to go back earlier now. Fortunately, I grabbed some screenshots, which we'll talk more about in tomorrow's podcast. It's just been one hell of a shit show here. Just constant hammering of rain in varying degrees. It would be nice if we had a bit of lightning. I think that sort of enhances things, but for the spectacle of things. But look, that's our little town of Townsville, and you'll find some of the Ross Lee was evacuated today. I did have a bit of a chat with our mayor, a bit of a quick SMS just asking if he had a comment on it. We'll talk more about it tomorrow, but he's had to evacuate from a property in Ross Lee there. Anoomba, Adalia, these areas are around the river here are being evacuated. Unlike 2000 and okay, cool. Don't worry, it's just a little piece of paper I was using as a what do you call it? A diffuser. Just fell down over there. But yeah, along the river here. So unlike 2019, that's what I was saying before I got distracted. So now here's the dam. They actually let the dam get up to there was a major flood in 2019, and a little bit of a sneak peek at tomorrow's, more than 200%. So they allowed it to get to 229% capacity before they finally 244.8% it peaked at, and yeah, with what was it? I'll be more prepared tomorrow. I'll read through it then better. But yeah, they allowed the dam wall to just about collapse. So this time they've got an automatic release system that released it like 101%. It was supposed to release 100%, but anyway, that's kind of where we're at. So yeah, as the water floods down the river and starts to take turns, it starts to back up once it hits here. Of course, they've just like they did last time, they waited for high tide to release things, which is generally not a great idea because the high tide pushes back, which is why a lot of these areas are now in some serious flooding positions. But look, we'll talk about it more tomorrow. I just wanted to give everybody a quick heads up and let you know I'm okay. So, because I thought some people might be a bit concerned. Where were we? So, g'day, people of the power. I'm actually impressed at how many people have lobbed up with 15 minutes notice. I'm like looking at numbers. We're getting close to 200 here, and there's obviously going to be a lot more because of the Rumble crowd doesn't get counted in this section here. So it's pretty good to see so many people got on so quickly. I'm amazed at how quickly people jumped on. So thank you all for jumping on and so quickly. It's good to see you guys. I wonder, do I need, like 2 hours notice, 3 hours notice, the whole day? Apparently 15 minutes was enough. So that's really good. Is the rain just constant or heavy? It's both. It is constant, and it sort of ranges from stupidly heavy to a bit of a drizzle, but it has been constant. So yeah, it's a bit of a roller coaster. Different extreme up here, less rain, more heat and humidity. Rightio. Well, judging by the map here, you guys aren't getting smashed quite as good as we are. So But yeah, keep us posted if anything changes, Adrian. If you like, I'm kind of putting it out there for other people too. Tomorrow, if you've got your own flood stories, particularly if you're one of those poor people who have had to be evacuated, love to hear from you from people locally, and get their input. We know the mainstream media will be lucky to give you a line. I'll give you some time, so to actually tell your tale. I've actually got flood footage and bits and pieces from 2019. I've just got to dig through and try and find it. Probably look at that later on as opposed to straight away tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to get time and things with sick kids and shit myself. Use the premium version of this, keeps me amused. Nice. Cool. Do you think weather manipulation is in play here? Look, I always suspect that weather manipulation is in play. I think it is astounding that, that this has happened again. Given the last time, and I was working in the mainstream media at the time, so I was right there with Jenny Hill and her cronies at the time while they were doing their thing. And, I'll I was very dubious because she did take the time to sort of ask where we lived and whatnot at the time, while we're at the emergency center as things were ramping up last time, and, at first I thought, hey, it was pretty nice of her to sort of to ask, but then at the same time, I mentioned I was in a suburb that was actually at risk, and she kind of looked down and said, "You guys are in safe suburbs, you'll be right." Well, the next day, our suburb flooded and the water stopped 10 doors down. So, yeah, righto. It's amazing how good politicians can be. But are they still building homes on stilts? Not as much as they should be. There's a lot of flat building houses, particularly in a lot of areas that got flooded, particularly around Fairfield last time. They're all level housing on concrete slabs. And I spoke to some people there, and they were like, "Well, we were told that it should be this far from our doorstep, and it wasn't. It was this far over their fucking doorstep. Like I can't even get it in the bloody screen. It was like halfway up their walls, So yeah, there was they certainly didn't get given the proper thing. Ingham is flooded, roads are closed. Yeah, we're landlocked here. We can't get in either way. I hope Janine is doing okay out there. I heard she's you're trapped in air. I hope you're doing all right. Don't try and get home. And risk it, Janine. Seriously, hope you're doing all right and you've got a place to stay. As well as plan to be a smart city. Well, yeah. You got to wonder, is this part of the plan? Like I said, that actually going back to what I was saying earlier, it was supposed to be a once in a 25-year event, and then it was a once in 50-year event, and then it was a once in 100-year event, and then it was a once in 500 years, and I think at some point they even mentioned once in 1,000 years. I don't know what cave paintings they went to go and consult with to get that kind of information about 1,000-year flood. It was pretty interesting. I don't know that Noah's Ark's quite, called for at this particular point yet. But isn't it interesting that, these rare events have suddenly happened twice in 6 years, and it's almost identical weather pattern. So you got to wonder. But, coming back to the map, it is a pretty full on scenario when you look at the way the weather moves, So obviously we've got a bit of a push coming up from the south, which is what happened last time, as it runs in between your island mass and comes towards us, and the way it twists and turns. It's very unpredictable how things are going to turn up out this way. So if they've manipulated this, they've gotten very good at it. And you have to wonder, hey, we pulled this off, 2019. Can we replicate it? It's in the realm of possibilities. They have been playing with the weather for a very long time. We are aware of these things. And just to quickly reiterate, so people are, before the crazy conspiracy theorist crap comes out again, Rainmaking Control Act 1967, it is legislation It is currently active legislation. Yes, it's a Victorian Act, but the interesting parts about this Act is Section 8, cloud seeding in Victoria to induce rainfall in another state. Just thought I'd point this out, okay? So, I'm sure there's the conspiracy theorists at the Bulletin and the rest of the mainstream media would just quickly want to fob off, the theoretical concept of what we're discussing here. But here's the legislation. I didn't say it, I didn't write it, and I was not alive in 1967 to facilitate it in any fashion. But since this was 1967, it's a lot of years. A lot of years have passed. So, what was it? 70, 80, 90, 2000, 10, 20, well over 50 years, or close to thereabouts, close enough too, 50 years. Yeah, that works. I'll go with that. I'll add it up tomorrow for the podcast. But like I said, I just wanted to quickly point that out. No worries. This is exactly why I did the podcast, Pam, just to make sure you guys weren't worrying, weren't stressing. I come out good last time. I can't say the same for a lot of other people. There's a lot of very unfortunate people who've already been moved from their homes. So, shit is hitting the fan, and it's going to keep raining for a couple more days. So, look, fingers crossed, throw a couple of prayers my way. Let's hope I don't get flooded this time. No worries. Thank you, Cherry. Jan. Some of us don't have a life. Oh, well, I'm glad to, bring some entertainment to you guys. Thank you, Lindsay. So Saturdays are very boring. Yeah, we might have to do something about that. Start getting a few more podcasts going on a Saturday, eh? Need something to watch. Stream on Rumble will stray from where you. Yeah, might even remind people. Yeah, actually, there was a couple other people were worried about a post I put up about never having silver iodide. Yep, cheers. I've never mentioned cryptos before. Yes, I did put a post up saying, hey, if anybody wants a free $10, because like I do have an account on CoinSpot. Look, if you're interested, I'm not pressuring or pushing anyone. It's just an offer. You get a free $10. I get a free $10. You do have to chuck a couple of bucks in to the account to make it work, though. You can't just sign up and get something for free. You do have to invest a bit. Look, honestly, crypto's been good for me over the years. I have been buying and selling for quite some time. Look, it's one of those things. If you're into it, you're into it. If not, 1,000 years just for the climate scam. Yeah, I reckon you're probably right. Everybody else considers I'm on the water for the gout. Wow, over 261 actual registered people. We haven't even looked at. Let's have a look. You can add more into the Rumble stream too. Yeah, quite a few more on the Rumble stream as well. I'm not going to bother trying to do the maths. So yeah. Look, that's pretty much all I really wanted to say today. I didn't want to get into it too much because I'm not 100% prepared. I have been preparing and getting some things going for tomorrow. Having a shot of vodka. I'm glad somebody's able to have a drink. I wish I bloody could. I tell you what, because a lot of people are having flood parties. Amazingly enough, some people are out there having a great time. Unfortunately, not everybody is, because, like I said, some people insurance companies would never allow any disaster to be manipulated, wouldn't they? I don't know. You got to wonder, are the insurance companies let in on it? So it's levels of what you know. And who's to say they don't get a quiet look? Here's a couple of mil if you just pay out and shut up. Yeah. Usual thanks. Still got you got fires, we got floods. You know what? That's exactly like what happened in 2019. It's astounding, really. No, okay. It's a harsh reality. Time does pass, and so 67 was a long time ago by some people's standards. Sorry, it's a harsh reality. Reality is harsh like that. Hello, Tyler. How you going, mate? Actually, you know what? Before we go, Tyler was a little bit upset at me last week. I didn't play a video for him. So I'm going to have a quick moment here, and I will share this video to appease Tyler, seeing as he's there and he's watching. We don't want him to get upset now. My boy, my darling boy, does do his best to contribute and, throw his 2 bobs in, and he had a wonderfully amusing video. Here we go. Some dumb shit from TikTok. Enjoy.
If I plug in my earphones into my phone while they're in my ear, can TikTok know what's going on in my brain, please?
Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Look over here, please. I've never heard of a country called Singapore. Is it in Western Europe or mainland Europe? Because I certainly have never heard of Singapore.
Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the...
So if I have TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Can you assure me, or can you at least tell me, if you turn on airplane mode on a plane, can TikTok talk to the plane, please?
It never gets old. It's funnier each time I watch it. Oh, wow. That's a good one. If you turn on airplane mode while you're on a plane, can TikTok access the airplane? That is fucking gold. And it just demonstrates how dumb some of these people are. And these people are in vital positions, might I add. Very, very disturbing stuff. So thank you, Tyler. Hope you're happy now, son. So we're going to try and get through to all these comments. You guys are just, wow, dedication. We're well over 300 people now. This is nuts. This was supposed to be a quick podcast. I'm up to 25 minutes. I think they're all in it. I agree. You need to know about it. Oh, please, well, shoot me an email. Yeah, I was not in a good way a few days ago, I must say. Look, although the meds that the doctor put me on have had me spray paint and dunning bowls pretty good, at least the pain has subsided. It's still a bit sore, so I'm going to go put my foot up very soon. Jan says, well done, Tyler, for helping your dad. You're a good boy, son. Well, if you've got a swollen toe and it hurts like fuck to bend it, it's probably gout. I've actually had it in my elbow once upon a time. Apparently it does happen, and that hurt for a while. Price hike twice yearly on alcohol. I have not happy. Very unhappy. I think it's a fucking rot. Tyler says thank you. Oh, Struth. The construction economy funded by premiums paid for insurance policies. The insurance companies pay for nothing. They invest your money to generate free money. They insure themselves against claims. So it makes sense. The government creates disasters to drive the economy. Interesting theory, Martin. I would, it's funny. I did come across someone when I first moved to Townsville who was complaining. He was a roofer, and he was complaining that he didn't have enough work, and that he's like, I know it sucks and it's horrible what I'm about to say, but we need a good cyclone so I can get some work. So, not my words. Those are the words of a roofer. Random Blake. Where was I? Standing out front of Fantastic Furniture, waiting to get some bedding, I think it was, or shelving, something to the effect when we just moved up. Yeah, I know, you can't even take the batteries out. It's shocking. So did anybody ever watch that old TV series? It was a Terminator TV series, and it ran for 2 seasons. And one of the things they always did for staying off grid was taking the battery out of the phone. So funny how they stopped that from happening. Star Wars Saturday. Oh, Valerie, it's amazing that you guys love the Cafe Locked-Out Network so much. It's really good. We can't go yet. I'm sorry. I've got to get ready for the big show tomorrow. This is just to let you guys know. And look, if the show doesn't happen tomorrow, we've lost power. I might try to do something off my phone just to let you know how we're going, because loss of power is a possibility. If leg started in the foot, does it move? It can move. I'm not an expert on gout. I can only tell you what's happened to me. Eat cherries and drink cherry juice. Okay, I've been finding apple cider vinegar helps. One thing I did discover, I was contemplating having a quick beverage with you guys, because it just seems like, the wrong thing to do. Homebrew is a good thing. It does save money, but apparently it's also not good for gout. I looked it up. Apparently beer is one of the worst. Actually, you'll find this fascinating. I found it fascinating. So one last fun fact before I part. So, obviously gout and alcohol, the link between gout and alcohol has been assumed. I'd like to emphasize assumed here, with doctors advising their gout patients to stay away from the beverage. Drinking alcohol regularly can cause some serious repercussions to gout sufferers, especially those who drink beer. I know, it's tragic. So, number one, beer. If beer is your alcohol of choice, consider lowering your intake as soon as possible. It's been strongly associated with gout attacks, as not only does it contain alcohol, but it also has the highest levels of purines compared to any other alcoholic beverage. It's also high in brewer's yeast, which is known to worsen gout pain. In one study, they found that patients who consumed a 12-ounce serving of beer per day were almost 2 times likely to have gout compared to those who don't drink alcohol. Another extensive study found that 2 to 4 beers a week increases one's chances of developing gout by 25%. The more beer they drank, the more likely they were to suffer from a gout attack. Too much alcohol increases uric acid production and makes it difficult for the body to get rid of. So hard liquors have the same effect, though not as severe. Spirits like vodka and whiskey raise the risk for gout. One liquor drink can increase one's gout attack, but 2 or more. Okay. One liquor drink can increase one's risk for a gout attack, but 2 or more increase the risk by a whopping 60%. Wine drinkers are not safe either. When 3 types of alcohol, beer, wine, and liquor, were compared, it was found that wine had a specific effect on gout. Those who drank 1 to 2 glasses of wine 24 hours before a gout attack raised their risk. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of things. You know what? I'll post it on Telegram for you momentarily for others out there who are interesting. But it got interesting a little bit further in this, where it goes, what is the best thing to drink if you have gout? Where was it? Oh yeah. So as for beer, most of the stuff you buy from the store probably contains harmful ingredients. So homebrew, yeah, probably a better idea for that reason, because it's a little bit more purity. But of course, you still got your brewer's yeast. There's a bit of a problem there. But we know what we're putting in our home brew, you know, because there's harmful ingredients that are not reported on the label. This is because alcohol companies have lobbied the industry for years, giving them the ability to use unsafe ingredients in their formula without including them in the label. For example, Newcastle beer contains coloring made from ammonia, which is cancer causing. Not only were they giving you gout, they're going to give you cancer as well. It's very kind of them. Then there's Corona beer, which contains genetically modified organisms, corn syrup, you know, which is very good for gout too, such as high fructose corn syrup. There's also another really good video. Is it Sugar, the Bitter Truth? Or is that the book? I can't remember. I'll have to fact check that one. But there's a good video on there that I've seen years and years ago about how high fructose corn syrup is fundamentally a poison, and it just happens to be in McDonald's and Hungry Jack's sauces and stuff. So yeah, just another thought there. Yeah, the fructose is high fructose corn syrup. There you go. I was just about to say that it is an evil substance similar to high fructose corn syrup, which is metabolically risky. The fructose is absorbed. Yeah, so there you go. You can read all about that. But I thought it was really interesting. But at the bottom, it says if you can, try to stay away from American beers in particular, since they are filled with GMO. Instead, go for organic beers, such as make it yourself. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'll post that onto the Telegram thing because it's on my phone. It's a bit of a pain. Thank you, guys. Look, I know there's so many comments. I'm going to try and get them all up here. But yeah, look, thanks everybody for tuning in for this brief little flood update. Yes, fingers crossed. Thank you very much, guys. Hopefully things will ease up. You know, just because the weatherman's saying that, you know, in the next few days things are going to be bad doesn't mean it will. But then again, it could. So, you know, let's all just hope that things are going well. Enough good energy goes out into the ether, perhaps, you know, things will come good. You know, a little bit of meditation and all that. There is studies that have proven that stuff actually does have an effect. So all those good well wishes will definitely be appreciated. Hopefully the mainstream media aren't stirring people into an absolute panic, which they are pretty fucking good at doing. I know particularly for, you know, people who are, you know, nowhere near the region and all you're seeing is the bad shit. You know, what else is left to think? You know, the mainstream media are very reckless and irresponsible in a lot of ways, but it is important that everybody, German beer, yes, I do like it, but it's actually getting harder and harder to get that sort of stuff here. At Dan Murphy's, I was you can't get Grolsch at Dan Murphy's anymore. Very upset, you know, because I liked to grab the occasional 4-pack of Grolsch so I could recycle the bottles. They're very good for home brewing. But you can't get it at Dan's anymore. There are a few good German beers, though. And it's actually, I did have a yarn with a German fellow a long time ago, and he was saying he had a lot of trouble with Australian and American beers because of the amount of preservatives they put in it. It was making him sick, and that was what was causing his hangovers. So, yes, alcohol is a poison. That is definitely true. That's okay. I've got my water today. Thank you. Cool. If you any suggestions you got there, Clark, you got my email, mate. Just drop us some suggestions. I'll happily have a read. Anybody got any photos they'd like to see pop up for tomorrow's podcast? Of course, email them through to me. For those of you who have forgotten, I know most of you are regular and you're probably sick of me saying this, but NQ Freedom Network at protonmail.com. By all means, drop me a line. Let me know what's going on. Of course, don't forget to be a Patreon. And hey, look, you know, even if you're not interested in the Patreon thing, I have dropped a link today in the crypto thing. You get $10, I get $10. We help each other. It's pretty fucking cool. You know, our Bitcoin, it's like buying gold. It's a pretty safe bet these days. I think the actual Bitcoin itself is only gone up. Yeah, it goes down for a bit, but it comes back up again. So, you know, just don't do anything stupid like panic sell, you know, because Bitcoin dropped. You know, like when it drops, just wait. That's the time to buy it when it's low. You know, it's very simple principle. You know, when it's low, buy. When it's high, sell. basic stuff. But look, I'm not a financial advisor, and I wouldn't encourage you to go and do it. Do your own research, do your own thinking, just like it says at the beginning of this podcast, as the disclaimer makes. This is just entertainment purposes. But, you know, hey, look, if you'd like $10 and I'd like $10, hey, click the link. What do you got to lose? You know, it's $10, you know. And again, it's only how much you put in. Don't put in more than you can afford, you know. I buy $5 here, $10 there. There's a lot of good coins. I actually bought a bunch of AI stuff today. I just had this feeling about AI and Dogecoin as well. The reason I picked Dogecoin today, I mean, I picked it a while ago because it was actually a pretty good one. It's actually made me a bit of money. But I was thinking, you know, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. So it just seemed to me, I wonder if that'll push Dogecoin up because, you know, people do think that way. So, actually, take us out with a guitar riff. Sorry, I'm actually not quite plugged in. I'd have to do a bit of work for that one. But now that you've mentioned that, recording is going to be a bit hard. Or I'll probably have to just do stuff here more often. Those who are observing, you'll notice there's a new bass hanging there. It's not actually new. It's an old one I've dusted off that I started putting some bass tracks down. So I've got my keyboard here. You know, I've been going through trying to find the right kind of key sounds that I want to go with this track. But thoughts go out to Paul Mark, whose studio has unfortunately flooded. I was in there doing some vocal tracks a couple of weeks ago, so I did get some vocals down, which was really good. But unfortunately, that studio is going to be out of action for I don't know how long, as it's unfortunately flooded. So that's a bit harsh. But yeah, I suppose I could, you know, I could do an acoustic one. So the bug has changed. Impromptu. It's not even tuned, man. It's all out of tune. The temperature's whacked. And I'm not going to sit here and play everybody's favorite Chinese song tuning. Yes, I know, it's a horribly racist joke. It's really frustrating. Sorry, wasn't prepared. Maybe tomorrow I will have something for you. Yeah, I was on it. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just not going to deal with it. Sorry. I got to go. This is supposed to be short, up to 40 minutes. All right. Tomorrow, I'm aiming for about 11 o'clock, but don't quote me. Shit happens. So, all right. Thanks heaps, guys. Keep them well wishes coming. Hopefully enough positive vibes will change the weather. Till tomorrow, everybody.